left-handed. These two have only met on one previous occasion, and by O'Sullivan's standards it was pretty ho-hum stuff, although it was still very good stuff. He won 4-1 in the last 32 of the Bulgarian Open, making breaks of 71, 74, 65, and to finish off 105. You're right though, Tom, it'll be very interesting to see how quickly he settles down.
Yeah, under these circumstances where it's 4 frames as well, it's if Ronnie don't start off well, he's not going to want to really be here, I don't think. So we just need to see what sort of Ronnie turns up today. And with it only being 4 frames, the lower ranked players will be thinking Ronnie could be here for the taking. It's a completely different game to, say, a best of 9 or even the World Championships. It's a lot harder to win them matches, but under a short distance, everyone's got to be thinking, I've got a chance here.
Too right. And Ian Burns is a very capable sort. Made an impression immediately he came on the tour. He was voted Rookie of the Year. That was back in 2013. Has been to quarterfinals of ranking events such as the Paul Hunter Classic and the Welsh Open.
Yeah, and I don't think Ian was too impressed with getting Rookie of the Year, to be honest, when he's been playing for so many years anyway. But it's one of them things, you got it, and I'm not sure if he was delighted or not, but he got it anyway.
I'll tell you when he was delighted. At Pond's Forge in Sheffield recently, when he came through Q School. And boy, was that last gasp stuff. He lost his card at the end of last season, dropped out of the top 64. Consequently, he was relegated. Now, there are 3 events at the Q School, and basically you have to make the semi-finals of one of them. He didn't do so in the first 2 events, but he did in the 3rd, beating, funnily enough, Mark Lloyd, who's involved on the other table today. And the way it works, that gives him a 2-year card, so he's got the opportunity to re-establish himself.
A little bit edgy there from Ian Burns. Obviously first sort of chance he's got. Won't be pleased with that one, but just hopefully that he could maybe get away with it. It's not the easiest red for Ronnie for a starter.
Wasn't that terrific? I mean, his bridge, because of the position of the green, had to be diagonal, unconventional. He got a lot of cue after the bridge as well, which makes things a little more complex, and he knocked it in as though it was over the pocket.
And I don't know if you've seen that, but Ronnie played the black left-handed as well, so like I say, we don't know which Ronnie's going to turn up, but is he going to play every single alternate shot wrong-handed? Still don't know.
9.
Well, he's discovered early there just how quick the better this table is. The cue ball almost got away from him.
$11. 12. 90. 20.
The table was playing. Looks like it's playing a lot better than it was in the first couple
22.
of days. There's a lot more reaction. So hopefully it's sort of cooled down a little bit in the arena. And just when I said the table looks like it's playing
Ronnie
better,
O'Sullivan, 22.
Ronnie goes and misses a red that he shouldn't have missed.
Yeah, took the opportunity there to free up an awkward one, but really that shouldn't have divided his concentration enough to make that mistake. A typical early season blunder, Tom.
Yeah, just talking to Ronnie before the match, and he said he's not really been playing that much. He's just been enjoying his running. Even in this heat, he said he absolutely loves it. He just loves going out on the heat, doing all the running. And you can see as well, Ronnie looks like he's lost a little bit of weight as well. Well, I'm not surprised running in this heat. I think we'd all be losing weight. But no, he's at the start of the season. I mean, you'd never see Ronnie miss a ball like that mid-season. But I think there's going to be a few edgy games out there today.
End of break.
Ian Burns, 11.
Ian Burns knows all about extreme weather. A few years ago, he was really unfortunate. There was a massive rainstorm up where he lives in Preston, and it actually flooded his practice room.
That's a good safety shot from Ronnie there. Just making sure he gets the white ball sort of near the brown so the pink covers the reds at the bottom. He's in a lot of trouble here, is he?
Emily Fraser from Matchroom Multisport has made the far-sighted decision, given the temperatures inside and out, to allow the players, if they want to wear polo shirts. Obviously it's their choice, and that's why you see sometimes a difference in the uniform, as it were.
Yeah, he's played a good shot there, Ian, as he left Ronnie more in the middle.
One.
As he left Ronnie more in the middle.
I don't know whether you agree, Tom, but I don't think anyone in the history of the game has been better with the recovery pots on either blue, pink or black to the ball pocket than O'Sullivan.
9.
Well, I think a few people could say maybe the only other person it could be like that is maybe Mark Williams. He's always been one of them that can get himself out of trouble, but there's not many better than Ronnie at doing that.
60.
Like I said, the only other person I could think of is maybe Mark Williams. But obviously it would take some beating.
70.
Especially with Ronnie as well. He does tend to go for his shots a little bit more in the recent years. But the only trouble is when he does go for them, most of the time they do go in.
Is it different playing him? Different to anyone else?
Yeah, Ronnie's got that aura about
23.
him. It doesn't matter if he plays bad. Normally you go out there
24.
and people say, just play the balls and concentrate on your own game, but when you're playing Ronnie, he's got that aura about him. It's just, even if he's not playing well, it's just so difficult to play him because you know in the back of your mind that you're playing Ronnie.
30.
And it's easier said than done. That people say, like I said, concentrate on your own game. But when he's playing well and he's playing shots like that,
31.
I mean, there's not many people that have got down and just played the double. So he's got that aura, and when he plays shots like that as well, it's just, you're sitting there and thinking, what have I got to do to win?
The one thing that gets under O'Sullivan's skin
38.
is when he plays a bad positional shot, which was just before the double there. But he retrieved the situation, and now
39.
the pink is frame ball.
And I think we know what sort of Ronnie's going to turn up today. He's not here to sort of mess about and play a lot of safety.
45.
He's here to try and free flow and be attacking and get the games done and dusted quickly.
46. 53. 54. 60. 61.
'As you say, Tom, he
68.
says he hasn't been playing much, but of course this is the man who won the World Championship one year, having played
70.
before going to the Crucible, one match all season. Still won the big one.
Yeah, sometimes you can actually go into tournaments when you've not been playing that much and you've just been sort of happy off the table.
73.
You go onto the table and you just play well because sometimes you don't expect to play well if you've not been playing. But so I think Ronnie's got a table at
77.
home as well. So when he says he hasn't been playing much, nobody knows how much he's been playing. Obviously only Ronnie knows how much he's been playing. It's just same as Mark Williams. I mean,
82.
a lot of Mark's fans will know. He could say he's not been playing and they know different. But no, he's looking good here and it's a great bait in the
88.
first round.
First frame. Ronnie
Wasn't it just, Tom? Yes, a break of 88. Glued together by a very impudent double to the middle pocket, having surrendered position. So Ronnie O'Sullivan quickly takes a 1-0 lead over Ian Burns. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. In the blink of an eye, Ronnie O'Sullivan has his first frame on the board in this tournament this season. A break of 88 sees him lead Ian Burns 1-0.
Second frame.
You won't be surprised to know that the first frame on the other table is still in progress. In fact, as I speak, what am I saying? Fergal O'Brien has just taken a 1-0 lead over Andrew Higginson. I'm doing Fergal a disservice. Actually, O'Brien started the group with a break of 100, so well done to the man from Dublin.
Ronnie's left this red out. It's an easy pot, but it's can he get the white out for a colour? He's got to try and get away from the reds and get the white out. Just click the red, which
One.
may have a difficult blue if he's going to take it on, or does he play safe?
Bramble. Ian Burns 1. One. Five.
It's always difficult the way the balls are on the black underneath the black spot. He's going up for the blue quite a bit here. Whether he can go down for the black, and the only trouble is with the black, it will go underneath the red, so he's got to be careful here. He wants the black to go, so he must know that if it goes underneath the black spot, it must maybe still pot into the same pocket he's playing for now. From the angle, didn't
30.
see that it went onto the pink, so he's going to be trying to get onto the blue here as soon as he can to get into the bunch and hopefully open the pink and black up and continue the break, because keep
40.
going up for the blue here, it's very difficult to carry the break on.
Nineteen.
This shot is key. He needs to get high on the blue so he can try and get into the reds and develop the pink and black.
Foul.
And that's not
Ian
what he
Burns
was looking
19.
for.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
The middle pocket is always there, it never moves, but really some in-offs are unluckier than others, and that was unfortunate. And that was the opposite, very fortunate to finish up where he did.
1.
Distance between those two reds, the cue ball going back up into bulk, tells its own story. If you have a touch, take advantage.
Three.
And if Ian can get through to this red net to the back, he's got a good chance of getting ahead with the points and hopefully winning his frame and getting back into the match.
4.
Well, he has absorbed plenty of punishment in the past and come up smelling of roses. 2018 Welsh Open. He played Neil Robertson. Robertson made 3 centuries. Burns won 4-3.
Ten. Eleven.
Yeah, he's always had some great composure, as Ian. His temperament's very good as well, so doesn't matter what the opponent... Oh, just as I was saying that. Is that commentator's
Ian
curse,
Burns,
is that,
11.
Phil?
Tom, welcome to the club. It happens to everyone. You couldn't foresee him missing that pink. It's as though it had to be.
One.
And if Burns is fully punished for that miss, you get the feeling this could be entirely one-way traffic.
Five. Ronnie will show them 5.
Burns undercut the pink. O'Sullivan overcuts the red. And that was the key ball, looking at the rest of the table.
One.
And we can see start of the season again, people aren't match sharp. Obviously with the sun coming out, the last thing we want to be doing is being stuck in the snooker all day, so there's going to be quite a few people that are quite rusty to start with this season.
7. Thanks. 8.
Just the incorrect side of the blue.
Thirteen. Thanks.
Played that well, and the frame
40.
should be his now.
I don't want to say too much because last time he missed a pink in the middle, but it should,
20.
after potting this red, it should be all over really.
21. $28. $29.
Ian seemed to have sped his game up a little bit over the past couple of seasons as well. He never used to be
36.
as quick as this. He was never slow, but he was...
37.
Maybe he was thinking about it a little bit too much a couple of years ago, maybe when he fell off the tour. Maybe thought of just getting down and playing and not thinking about it too much, and the way he's playing here, free-flowing, he looks good.
Yeah,
43.
good observation, Tom. Over the years, it doesn't quite apply to every single person, but by and large it's true. If you slow down, I think it's going to be to your detriment. If you
Thanks.
play a little more smoothly, at a better rhythm, I think it's going to be to your benefit. That's what's happened in professional snooker for many a year.
48.
Yeah, sometimes you can, when you sort of start a little bit slower, you're a little bit more cautious, and you can sort of start to overthink. And when you start overthinking,
52.
it's a long way back. You start feeling a bit negative and you get slower. And sometimes you just need to get down and get on with it
57.
and start to free flow. When you start to play a little bit slower, it's hard to get into a rhythm.
$63.
Well, he needed 2 bites of the cherry, having missed a
70
pink
in the frame.
to the middle
Ian
pocket. But in the end, the end game of Ian Burns, that was pretty good. A break of 70, and with that, he equalises against Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's 1 frame each, and going into frame 3, all results in this opening match of the day remain possible.
I was born for this. I was born for this. I was born for this. Born for this. Born for this. Feel that fever, lightning strikes, dangerous like dynamite. Born for this.
Ian Burns doing very well, thank you, against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Might have been intimidated by the way the match began. O'Sullivan making a beautiful 88 break in the opening frame, but Burns retaliating with 70 in the
Third frame.
second. So these are best of 4
Ronnie
frame
O'Sullivan's
matches. You can win 3-0, 3-1, or it can be a 2-all draw. Now Ronnie broke off conventionally in the first frame, but taking a leaf out of the Mark Williams book there.
Yeah, touching that one in.
Tom, you've never been frightened to offer an opinion on things. What do you make of this particular break-off?
I'm not a fan myself. I just think if you get two negative players, obviously Ronnie's not negative, but if somebody was to break off like that as negative, and the opponent is negative, all they're going to be doing is rolling up to the pack all the time, and it just takes the frame of snooker, just drags it down a little bit. I mean, Ian could leave the white up the table in a minute, and Ronnie's got sort of the same shot, but he might play something different. I'm not a fan, but they're allowed to play it. It's not an illegal break off, so each their own. But this is what I mean. Is he going into the back of the pack here or not? No. So he could have played the break off normally, and now he's been fought. Why didn't he just come off the back of the back cushion into the pack again if he wanted to do that break off? So he's played a negative break off and then an attacking safety. For me, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. I do absolutely agree that you're in very dangerous territory if you try and outlaw what is a legal shot. And there would be definitely the likelihood of stalemate if you got two players of a similar ilk. But of course, O'Sullivan, he's not going to mess around, is he? Eventually, quickly, he's going to play something like that.
Yeah, and it's not that you wouldn't think them two shots from Ronnie would be in the same frame. One of them roll up behind the pack and then smash a red in and open the reds everywhere. It's just two completely different shots, but like I said, we just don't know what we're going to get when we see Ronnie play.
Hold your horses. What a shot that was. What a shot. And then the brown, which is as easy as you like, elementary, is missed.
And I think he's got away with it as well. I don't think he's left in anything there. I think the brown's come over and covered one of the reds from going in. So Ian's in a spot of bother here.
Sullivan's in that category of player. Of course he gets bad luck at times, but when he gets good luck it seems almost unfair. Over the years, many a player has been convinced that the top guys have more than their share of fortune. Classic example being the great Maltese player Tony Drago. When he went overseas, he hated flying. And he always made sure, going out and coming back, he was on the same flight with either Stephen Hendry or Steve Davis, because he was working on the assumption that they were so lucky nothing bad would happen.
Might see Ronnie trying to develop the pink here and get it back down to the pink spot. Because where the black is, he's going to have to keep going up for the blue every shot. That's not something he wants to keep doing, going up for the blue. You don't want to leave the white ball going too far all the time. So I think he'll be getting the pink down.
19. O'Sullivan, 90.
A second miss on a ball colour to the same pocket. That after a poor positional shot off his previous red.
Thanks. 1. Seven. Eight.
Well, he was confidently on the walk, but it only just about slipped in.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit here with this break. He just needs one good positional shot. If you can just get one good positional shot, then it opens everything up.
Thanks.
He's bad miss there with the rest. He won't be happy with that one.
Ian Burns, 40.
He should have got a lot closer with that.
1. Seven.
Brendan Moore might be
8.
advised to borrow a pair of O'Sullivan's running shoes. You were saying before quite correctly, Tom,
40.
that players can be intimidated by him, and that's also the case
50.
with referees, not Brendan, who's far too experienced for that. But he is an intimidating presence. And he doesn't suffer fools gladly, so if a referee
21.
who he doesn't know well makes a mistake, he can make it uncomfortable for them.
22.
And yeah, like you said, we've got a very experienced referee here with Brendan Moore. He won't be intimidated by Ronnie, like reffing the balls, and Brendan's a good referee as well, so he'll run around as quick as he can and get them
28.
balls on the spot and make it as easy as it can be for the
29.
players. If the player wants to play slow, Brendan will put the balls back on the spot slowly, but Brendan knows Ronnie wants them on the spot as quick as possible, so I'm sure Brendan will be running around trying to do the best he can for him.
Yeah, we're very lucky here, actually. The three referees who are working,
35.
Brendan, Paul Collier and Rob Spencer, all of them excellent. And it
36.
makes such a big difference, Tom. You know far better than I.
Yeah, you want these referees that they know the game, they've been around the game for years, and like here you see him putting the ball on as quick
40.
as he possibly can. Sometimes they don't even stand in the right place
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
where
40.
they should do,
And the
because they want to do the best for the player, so they try and do the best they can, and that's what you want as a player.
And that's what Ronnie O'Sullivan wanted. It wasn't a flawless frame by any means, but when Ian Burns missed the red with the rest, O'Sullivan swooped, and the Rocket is now 2-1 ahead. If he wins the next frame, his day will begin with a victory. it's always good to get your day off to a winning start in this format, and Ronnie O'Sullivan has got the opportunity to do just that. He leads Ian Burns 2-1.
Final frame.
This
Ian
is
Burns
the
to break.
final frame in the opening match of the group we're going to be concentrating on table 1 all day, group 32. So can Burns salvage a point and a draw?
And he's left Ronnie a nice opening rear, if this can go in. And this is the reason why Ronnie did that break in the previous round, because he didn't want to leave Ian a long red. And
1.
that is a nice fluke there. If this green goes in, then that, I think he might be apologising for that red.
As I said before, when O'Sullivan gets good luck, it's almost
4.
unfair.
5.
And if there's any youngsters out there watching this and you want to learn how to break build,
12.
this is where you want to be watching Ronnie, especially when he's in the balls. The way he goes about it, the way he opens the reds
13.
up, knowing that if he opens the reds up he can still land on another one. This is what you want to be watching.
20. 21.
Now that seemed quite a springy bounce off that top cushion. Unperturbed.
28. 29.
O'Sullivan's average shot time for the first 3 frames was 13.6 seconds. And I think he's in the process of reducing that even more here. Oh no, what a stupid miss from Ronnie O'Sullivan. All the hard work and then a really
O'Sullivan.
elementary
36.
ball goes astray.
Yeah, and this is where Ian's just going to take his time, get his composure, and just try and wait for one little mistake that Ronnie can make here.
One on the other table. Andrew Higginson and Fergal O'Brien. By the way, if you want to see all of the live action from Table 2, just access matchroom.live.
I think the way Ronnie's playing today is his opponents they're all going to get chances. But when I say he's got that aura about him, it's trying to get in and take them. Whereas
1.
Ian's took a couple of chances, but he's left a lot out there today. He's hoping he can kick on here and try and get the draw. But what we've got to remember as well, Ronnie's got the high break, so if it does go down to it in the end, high break always counts.
3. 4.
large disparity in their respective world rankings. Ronnie O'Sullivan starts the season
11.
as the world number 3. Ian Burns has no ranking points, so he's down amongst the players who are starting off again. He's tied 92nd in the rankings. Oh, and that will do
Ian Burns 11.
the man from Preston no good whatsoever. The second time he's missed quite a straightforward ball to that particular pocket.
Bring a long rest. Thanks.
I think one thing that has changed since the start of the match, Tom, when we started, Ronnie O'Sullivan's shirt was tucked in. Now it's not.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be getting asked to tuck it in with the heat of today.
4.
It started tucked in, but if that's a highlight of the game,
5.
then we know that it's not been the best of matches that we're looking at people's shirts. But
Yeah, you'd be very pedantic, wouldn't you, as a referee, to tell him to tuck it in. You'd be very brave as well, actually.
yeah, I wouldn't like to tell him.
11.
I think he'd just look at you and you go, okay, yeah, keep it hanging out, that's fine with me.
12.
Well, we haven't seen too many kicks, certainly not yesterday, but that definitely was
18.
quite a bad one. It took all of the juice out of the cue ball. Oh no, not again.
9.
Not again.
And it's going to be a fun day to watch Ronnie today, because I don't think we're going to know what he's going to do. But just this red,
25.
and then we're leaving Ian needing
26.
all the reds with the black to win. I mean to draw. But it's difficult here for me, and
32. Ronnie O'Sullivan 32.
57 points the difference, 51 on the table, 2 snookers needed. Of course, Burns doing the right thing, and you never know.
yeah, Ian will be trying to leave the red on the bottom rail till last. Obviously he wanted to go a bit further here, because he wanted to get down for the black. But he'll be leaving
8.
the bottom red and trying to put the white in behind the black.
9.
I said before, 2 snookers needed,
50.
but maybe 1 snooker plus free ball.
Ian Burns 50.
Well, I'm surprised Ronnie went off the 2 cushions that way, because if he was to miss a red, then it was a guaranteed free ball. I'm surprised he didn't just go off the 1 cushion to hit the red, so then if he was to miss it, there was no option of leaving a free ball.
Getting the black in motion there and almost going in off. Loose on 2 fronts. By the way, if you want to see O'Sullivan again, he's next on at 5 o'clock local time against Saqib Nasser. And Nasser will be playing next against Mark Joyce in a West Midlands derby.
Yeah, and them two actually practice together quite a lot, so they both won't want to play each other, but I think they'll be forgetting about their practice partners when it comes to their match.
Yeah, although he's synonymous with Essex, actually Ronnie O'Sullivan has got a powerful West Midlands connection. He was born in Worsley Hospital in Stourbridge. And his maternal family lived in a place called Netherton.
Foul.
Well,
Ian Burns.
that was always a possibility, Tom.
Yeah, you can never judge anything with a double kiss. Obviously, it's a little bit unlucky as well, because Ronnie's obviously just gone to try and hit the red, but getting that double kiss has been a little bit unlucky, really. Whereas if that flicks off the yellow, if it flicked off the yellow and gone behind the black, he would have been in trouble.
Well, that was a pretty stylish way to put the lid on a victory. Ronnie O'Sullivan wasn't sharp, we know that, but he made an 88 break in the first frame that was fluent. We also saw doubles, trebles, flukes, you name it, and some really good pots as well. I think in the end you have to say the Rocket was good value for his victory. He defeats Ian Burns by 3 frames to 1.